Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Leanna and today we're talking about automation for your reselling business. Automation is out there, lots of people use it, so we're going to talk about the pros and cons of automation. I'm going to tell you what I use my automation for and what it's helped me with. And we're going to talk about I think there's two new sort of things that have come out in automation in the last little while that I want to talk about at the end. Alright, so automation. First and foremost, if you're using it on Poshmark, I know it does say in the community guidelines that they don't allow automation. It's not in the terms of service. It's in the community guidelines. Whether that makes a difference or not, I don't know. It's sort of tomato in some ways. Poshmark frowns upon it. You do have that small risk that you will get in trouble for using automation. But in my opinion, so many people use it that Poshmark really doesn't care. Poshmark wants the sales, so they're sort of turning a blind eye to most of it. I have not heard of a lot of people getting in trouble for using automation at this point in time. But just so you know, be aware that there is that small risk. And it was that risk that actually stopped me from using automation sooner. I've only been automated for just over a year. I started with one shop and they were really expensive. And then I sort of did a comparison with Posh Sidekick, and I just prefer Sidekick. Sidekick is a little less expensive. It allows me to have, both closets running at the same time, and it has a feature where I get a bit of a discount because I have two closets, which I think is really great. One shop did not have that. And if you're a Canadian, you know that one shop sort of went off the rails for the Canadian market, and what do you call them? The person that made up the app, the developer, thank you. Every video, right? He was just really nasty to the Canadians at one point, so I'm really glad I left them, and I'm with Posh Sidekick. Sidekick, a couple of good things about them: they're always coming out with something new, and we're going to talk about that at the end of the video. They are always coming out with something new. They are, always talking with us. They are there. They communicate really, really well, and I like the fact that they say things like it will not guarantee you sales. Because you know what? Automation does not guarantee you sales. That is something you need to know. It is a misconception that if you go to automation, you're going to get sales. Now, automation saves you time, which could generate sales because you're sourcing better. You have more time to do that. You have more time to send out offers. You have more time to perfect your photos, things like that. So it could get you sales that way. But just because you're sharing so much or whatever doesn't mean you're going to get sales from that. Keep that in mind when you start thinking about automation. Really, you either spend time or you spend money. That's what automation is about. For me, I went to automation finally because I kept forgetting to share my closet. Because to me, I really resented the fact that I had to be on the app doing this busy work, this piddly little task all the time in order to get my listings up in the search, right? So it just irritated me that I had to do it, so I wasn't doing it. And it is a big, huge part of Poshmark that you have to share your listings. So to hand that off to something else was well worth the $29.99 a month for me. So I absolutely love the fact that I don't have to share my closet anymore. Like, I don't remember the last time I manually shared anything, to be honest with you. So for me, it gave me the freedom to not do that task that I hated to do, so I wasn't doing it. So I get a task done and it's being done, and it really helps that way. Also, I use it to send out offers and to relist, but I honestly do that manually as well. I will shut off my offers to likers sometimes and manually send out offers. I will relist myself sometimes as well because I want to double check the listings to make sure there's no spelling mistakes, switch around my photos, whatever it is I want to do. And also because in my brain, I think Poshmark likes it when you do things manually as well. So I like to sort of shake it up a bit and do it myself because I think it changes the algorithm. I think if you sort of set it and forget it, then your algorithm gets used to it and it stays like this. And if you sort of set it and then you do it, but you change it, it goes blip. hope I'm explaining that right. So I think once in a while going in and shaking things up helps your algorithm. It helps your presence on the app. So I will go in and I will turn off my offers to likers. I will change the percentage. I will turn off my relist and do it myself. I don't share myself ever. That's always on. But I will change up. They have like a rainbow share. They have a color share. They have things like that. I change that once in a while. I also change my speed once in a while. Once in a while, I'm not always set on fast. I'm not set on the 9K shares per day. Yeah, per day. I will go down to medium once in a while and change it up that way. Because in my head, I'm messing with the algorithm. That's what it is. I don't know if that is correct, but it seems to work for me. It makes me feel good, and it's definitely not harming my business at all. So with automation, I mean, like with cross-listing, I do a Google Chrome extension. I don't know why I said Google. A Chrome extension. I use Cross-List Magic because I like to do my cross-listing that way. I want to be in control over what goes over to Posh US or goes to Posh Canada. I also have to change the spelling because the Americans spell color differently than we do here in Canada, and I like to make sure that it's spelled correctly. So I prefer to do that on my computer and do it one at a time. I also have the time to do that. With automation, you have to know whether you have the time to do these things. I am an older person, as you know, getting older in a couple of weeks, but that's okay. I'm an older person. This is my only job. I have a lot of time to do these tasks. I don't work another full-time job. I don't have young children at home. I don't have any children at home. I have a spouse that helps me out with everything else, so I have a lot of time. If you are a person that just doesn't have a ton of time, automation can work really, really well for you. Absolutely 100%. I am not against automation. I just don't want to do everything with automation. I like to be hands-on. It's just me and I have the time. Keep that in mind when people talk about automation. One thing we're going to talk about, the two new things that have just come out. Well, I don't know if the first one has just come out, but there's been talk about it. And that is the measuring app that apparently is available on iPhone only. Android does have measuring apps. I have not checked them out. I like to measure myself. I take photos of the measuring tape and whatever. With this new one that came out, you flat lay the item and you have a picture, you put your camera on and you press whatever buttons and it will generate a picture with the measurements on it, with little arrows, little typed out measurements. Looks really, really nice. It looks very professional. I was really impressed when I saw a picture of it. However, I am hearing that it's not 100% accurate, and that could just be because it's newer and you have to double check your accuracy with that. So a couple of things with this app. First of all, yes, it looks very professional. I thought it looked really good. But for me, if I am shopping and I see that, I don't know, I want to see the actual measuring tape on the garment because I think that proves the measuring better than an app does. It's like you get a math question and you know the answer but you don't show your work, and we were always told show your work because they want to know how you got there. So for me it's similar to that. It's right there, the answers are there, but there's no work involved, so I don't know how well that will protect you in case you have a case open with measurements being off. So that kind of brings me to if you have to babysit the automation and you're always going in and double checking it, like forevermore, not just because it's new, but if you're always finding, it's wrong or it's not accurate and you have to do it manually anyway, then it's not worth it. When something's new, yeah, absolutely, you got to sort of double check it. That makes sense until you build the confidence in the app itself. So with the new measuring thing, I think it looks really good. If you can use it if you want to. But as a buyer, I don't know if it's going to have repercussions because it's not accurate. It's not actually showing the work. I'm not sure yet. Let me know what you guys think about that. The last new feature that I want to talk about is from Posh Sidekick, but it's on their crosslisting.com app. I don't use their crosslisting.com app, not because I don't want to. Like I said earlier, I use Crosslist Magic. I like doing it on my computer. I don't know, it's just, and for me, I don't pay for Crosslist Magic, and it's only $9.99 a month if you do have to pay. I just prefer it. Anyway, the new one is called Smart Fill. It's really cool. I watched a video. If you are a Posh Sidekick user, if you go onto their Facebook group page, there is a video there. It's really neat because you go into the Crosslister and you pick what, you go into the Smart Fill, you pick what platforms you want to crosslist to, you add in your photos, you pick your first photo and your last photo apparently, and then it will fill everything in. It fills in title, description, all the little other things. I can't think of the word. Even on eBay, it does all your little, what are they called? Oh my God, brain fart. You know what I mean. It fills in everything, absolutely everything, which is really super cool. Now, in the video that was on the Facebook group, Michael did say you need to double check it because it is a new technology, and you know, it's not quite, it might make a mistake here and there. You know what? And that's okay because it's brand new. It is super cool. It looked like the video was really neat. It filled in everything, and then you cross-list it to all these platforms. So yes, it will save you time, 100% it would. I don't mind babysitting an app like that because, like I said, it is new. And I really appreciate that Posh Sidekick does tell you that. It's new, you need to double check it, you know, until we get everything figured out or whatever, until you're satisfied. I like that. It's sort of very, very real of them, very honest. I don't think I will be using it because, again, I have time to cross-list over. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I think it's a really good thing. And because it's sort of with the cross-listing app, everything's sort of done, and that's really super cool. That is absolutely a cool feature. If you do use their crosslisting.com app, let me know what it's like. Tell me if you've used the Smart Fill because the video looked really neat, and I'd like to know how accurate you think it is. So that's really cool. I know that at one point there was an app or a whatever you want to call it, Magiscriptor, I think it was called, where it was filling in your descriptions. I liked it. I found that it was making way too many mistakes with the actual words, and I also found that it was only as good as the keywords I was providing. So if I was going to list something and I provided 10 keywords and it just used all those keywords, well, by the time it takes me to type out those keywords, I could probably put them in a sentence myself. Because you know what? It's the keywords that matter. It's not the flowery everything else words. It's those keywords that matter. So it's not an app I use anymore. Not because it's a horrible thing. Again, it's just not something I found helped my business. To me, I was just better off doing it myself. And with automation, you have to sort of make that decision for yourself, for your own business. I'm not going to tell you not to use something because I don't use it. Use it. Use it and figure it out for yourself whether it's worth it or not for you, for your business. You alone know how much time you have in a day. You know what tasks you like to do and what tasks you don't like to do. So you need to make up your own mind about what automation tools you use and what ones you choose. We're doing well today. And what items you choose not to use. That's it. I'm done because you know what? Obviously I can't speak well today. I don't know why. Anyway, I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. It's supposed to be really nice this weekend, which is really weird. It's February and we're outside in t-shirts, so I don't know. Anyway, I'll see everybody next week.